Okay, here we go then. Let's go. So I'm going to start with the presentation, but I will flip to some code as we go through. So where this has come from is normally when I show people these pictures of my puppies, they immediately say to me, those are not puppies, those are Ewoks. And you can see the confusion because these puppies look very much like Ewoks. Here there are a lot of puppies that are disguised as Ewoks and dressed up as Ewoks because they look so similar to them. And I thought this is a very dangerous problem for people to have because while they look very similar and they look very cute, in fact, Ewoks might take you out in the silence of the night. There's a difference between being licked to death in the night and being roasted over an open fire. I don't know if any of you have seen the Ewok movies, the Star Wars movies, I should say, because the Ewoks are not in all of them, I think. But yeah, there are some scenes that are worrying. So this is a really simple app. You can build it within an hour or less. It's going to take us a bit longer than an hour because I'm explaining stuff to you, but you can do it yourselves in an hour. You shouldn't though. In that, one of the things about data science and machine learning is you can absolutely train stuff on a small amount of images, but you should not. You should train it on hundreds or thousands of images. So yeah, it shouldn't take you less than an hour, but for the purposes here of you making an app, of you integrating some custom vision and machine learning, you can absolutely do it within an hour. Okay, so when I was thinking about how do I learn to build an app, I was really confused by all of the options. What kind of app would I build? And yeah, I just wanted it to be really simple, like what I am going to teach you today. So the type of app that we are building here is a progressive web app. A progressive web app is one that no matter what you load it on, whether it's on your laptop, your phone, your iPad, whatever is the device, it will load in a web browser and it will adjust for the format of the screen. So yeah, it's a really good one. You build it once, you don't need to build separate code for the platform, and it will adapt to it. And it's secure and it's simple, and yeah, it's cool for a lot of reasons. So a little bit about progressive web apps. They are safe. Even though I'm saying you're doing it in a web browser, you can run them offline. Progressive actually meaning, I think, we can build a really simple one and then you can add lots of extra functionality in. So what we're building here is quite a simple app, although I think it's good enough. But if you wanted to get it to do other stuff, like, you know, take pictures with your phone camera and then assess those pictures using the custom vision, and that would be the logical next step for this app, and that would require a little bit more, but the app runs as it is, no problem. All it really needs to be considered a progressive web app is some security. Maybe if you are all watching the lobby, you can just click admit anytime it pops up. Okay, cool. Okay, so some security, a web app manifest, and a service worker. Although in fact, when we are building the app, none of these things are super obvious to you. You know, we're just building, and here we go. So this is what it's going to look like well, this is what it looks like in Visual Studio Code. So I'm just going to actually bring Visual Studio Code up, and we will. It would really help if I opened Visual Studio Code. Okay. Studio Code. Okay, you see Visual Studio Code on the screen now, right? David, tell me, do you see it?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that is my Visual Studio Code. I am just flipping to this one. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to create type view create Ewok or puppy. So view create Ewok. Oops. Or I'm just going to say Ewok or pup because actually I might have one called Ewok or puppy already because I have built this app a fair few times, as you can imagine. So simple as that. Now I already have Node.js installed. I already have well, Node.js, I guess, is the most important thing for this point. Now it's asking me what do I want. You can just go ahead and hit enter on that. So the Vue2, Babel, PWA, and ESLint is totally fine. I've messed around with a few different options and they're all pretty good, but clearly you need an option with PWA in it. So you could manually select features, but I will just let it go through on the defaults there. So that is going to take a little while to install all the node folders and all the other stuff to create this app. So while it's doing that, we will flip to look at the little app itself. So this is the app as it's running in Azure portal. So actually all I did here, and you can do this as well, is you can type in HTTPS to /aka.ms/. So if you type that in, hear Leo choking. He's acting like he's coughing to death on the floor down there. Leo. It's very hard to be an old dog or shih tzu. Okay, if you type that in your own window that I put in the chat there, it will bring up this app. And this is what it looks like. And then you get to sort of like click through and it will tell you based on its custom vision or machine learning, the percentage confidence it has that that is an Ewok or it's a puppy. And you can see it's 100% sure this is a puppy, which is cool because it is a puppy dressed as an Ewok. And if you go through each of them, puppy, that is correct. It is a puppy. Puppy, correct. Puppy, correct. Puppy, correct. It's very good considering the how lazy I was with the number of images I trained on it. So you will see that for yourself in a bit. Puppy, good. Be good. Good. This is concerning. It's only 77% sure that Leo, when he is completely naked, is a puppy. There's a 23% chance that he's an Ewok. That's very concerning because this means, you know, perhaps he really is an Ewok. Right, puppy, puppy, Ewok. Well, it is an Ewok. And that's an Ewok. That's an Ewok. That's an Ewok. Look. This is concerning as well. Look, That is Snickers. And yet it is 98% certain that she is an Ewok. So this is bad, because if I was really using this, that's okay on the close-up. I was using this app to tell me whether I should kill the creatures in front of me to save my life, then both Snickers and Leo would probably be goners. Okay, so that's the whole, that's the app as I have it running in Azure. Okay, so let's click back and see what Visual Studio is doing. So Visual Studio Code is still installing. So we'll leave that and go back to here. Okay, so it's doing that. It's going to do that. It's going to go through this. And then we are going to get to here. And all we're going to do is go into the right directory, which it will have created. And we're going to run it locally on our machines. And then we will get something that looks like this. And this is the templated app. So Vue.js is a JavaScript framework, and it is going to provide us with this template, which we are then going to edit and change in order to turn it into our Ewok one. Let's have a look. Is it nearly there? Nope, still going. Okay, so I'll keep going here and we'll do that in a bit. So this is what the template view looks like, and this is what we are going to change it into, as you've just seen. Now this is Azure Custom Vision. You can also sign up for this for free. You need an Azure subscription. So if you have your student Azure subscription, you can use that. If you have never signed up for an Azure student subscription, then you can absolutely sign up for one. If you just search for, oh, do you know what? It'd be better if we put the student hub up there. Microsoft student hub. If you haven't seen this, you see it's very simple to find it. You just type Microsoft Learn Student Hub and it will bring you to here, which you can sign into with a free Microsoft Learn account. So I always used to tell you all to sign up using your personal account because the training vouchers that I had only worked with a personal account. Now with the Student Hub, they're going to work with your university ones, but when you are within there, you should attach both so that you don't lose all of your certifications and all of your access once you stop being students. So Student Hub, from in there, it tells you all about stuff you can do, helps you think about your career path, and at the bottom, it's got all of the stuff that you can get for free. So there's student certifications in there. You can do all of your fundamentals in there and get the vouchers from them. Azure for Students, you can get your access to Azure Portal for free in there. It is only, I think, $100 per year, which is not very much if you stand up VMs or machine learning service and machine learning VMs, machine learning stuff, and then just leave it running, because you will burn through that in about, well, in less than a weekend probably, and then you will be done. And there's nothing you can do with that student account once you have used up all the credit on it. So always delete all your resources at the end of whatever you do. If you have already burnt through that, you will have to, I guess, start a new account. You can start a new account if you have a credit card, and it will give you $200 for free. The third thing you can do is become a student ambassador here. If you get selected to be a student ambassador, they will give you $200 a month in that Azure subscription, and they'll give you a lot of other support as well. So it's a good thing to try and join. I think they assess it pretty much every quarter, no matter what it says on the portal. If you try and do it, then you should let me know that you've submitted so that I can tell the Corp team to please appoint you, because they do not always appoint people. Okay, so Azure portal we have now. And then custom vision. So what this looks like, just log out. Azure custom vision. I should have totally copied that page link before closing it, because now here I'm looking for it, and it's down here somewhere. Sign into the custom vision portal. Yeah. So let's actually just copy that into your chat window. Okay. And then we are going to sign in. You can absolutely join this one for free as well, but as I say, you need your Azure portal as well. Okie dokie. So you can see I've already done some in here, but we're going to do some today. So I call this one Ewok, just as I have called the app. You don't have to call it exactly the same thing. You can call it whatever you want. Resource. I have one. This S0 is a standard subscription. You can absolutely use the free tier. The reason I am using the standard subscription and not the free tier is because I have built this app and some other ones like a million times, and so I have used up all of my free services. But there are a lot of free services in here, and you can definitely do it using the free ones. So that'll be fine. Classification. This means, is it this or is it that? Is it an Ewok or is it a puppy? As opposed to object detection, where it will say, you know, apple, banana, car, dog, cat, stuff like that. Well, classification would do that as well, but multi. Anyway, let's not think about that for now. Classification is what we want here. We wanted to say, is it this or is it that? Multi-class, so we want it to be a single tag per image. So I shouldn't have Ewoks and Shih Tzus in the same photo when I'm training the images. They should all be either a Shih Tzu or an Ewok. Okay. And then what kind of thing do I need here? I better check this. I'm pretty sure I need one of the compact domains, otherwise I won't be able to download it. So let's see whether I have that in here. I haven't. I think this is a video which I am not going to play because I'm going to show you it out loud. Okay, so I am going to guess then which one we want, and I'm gonna say it's a general compact. Do that. Basic platforms, TensorFlow, Core ML, Onyx, or Vision AI Dev Kit. And so I'm going to pick this one. Basic TensorFlow. Okay. Do you know what? I totally could have checked that in here. Hang on. Let's start playing that and then just flip that along a bit. Okay, here we go. Then I need to select. Correct. So that I collected the right one. Okay, cool. I'll let that carry on while I go back to this one. Okay, so then we get this. Now we are going to add images. You can add them by pressing this button or pressing this button. I think if we went down here to get started, we would also get to that button. So let's just add some images. Now, the only key thing to think of, well, no, sorry, there's a lot of things to think about with these images. First of all, if you are doing good data science, you want to ensure a couple of things. One, your training set is not the same as your inference set. So if you train your model on a bunch of images and then that's the same images you give it afterwards, then it's not really rocket science for it to say, yeah, 100% certain that's an Ewok or 100% certain that's a Shih Tzu. You, so you have to have a completely different set so that you're not cheating. So here is my training set. I'm going to use that inference set in the actual app. So I have a bunch of pictures here of Ewoks and Shih Tzus. The other difficulty with data science is you're supposed to use clean images. So, you know, really I should have called the Ewoks and the puppies into a studio, had them on a green screen and be taking pictures of them without their clothes on. Oh, that sounds dirty. But without any background in there, without any people, without any, you know, additional stuff, in order for the machine learning to learn from those images and judge what it is that makes a true difference between an Ewok and a puppy. Right now, it's very difficult for it because, you know, I've got, well, I think in this training set, I've got Shih Tzus and I've got Ewoks. But hopefully there is no, oh no, that's not true at all. I was going to say hopefully there is no Shih Tzus dressed as puppies. Really, I should not have those in there because that, is that a puppy or is that an Ewok? Puppy. That's a puppy. See, that's a puppy. Yeah, I shouldn't have things in here that are confusing for the training. So if I delete all of those, that one as well. This one, outfit on anymore. Oh, right there. This one. Oh, see how they sneak in. Let's just pick out all the ones that are puppies. No, not going to have to be deleted. Puppy. This is one of the problems with data science, the tedium. You can imagine if you had thousands, you would not want to be going through manually handpicking them like this. However, it is not the case that you have to. Want to tag them. I'm going to say up. And then going to some. Because what happens is after you've got 15 of each type trained, oops, no. You could actually use this get suggest tags. So, you know, if you did 15 first, and then uploaded a training set with several thousand images in it, you could click on that Get Suggest Tags, and it will go through and pick out which ones it thinks are Ewoks and which ones it thinks are Shih Tzus based on that initial training. So you would only have to go through and confirm that it had correctly done those. It's still a little tedious, but not entirely. Because we should not have pictures of puppies pretending to be Ewoks in there. That definitely is not fair on the machine learning. And we click train. Quick training is fine. And off it goes. Okay. Then we'll go back to our Visual Studio Code and see if that is done. Yes, it is. So I am going to go cd Ewok or up Texas. Oops. Help. Dash. There we go. And then we're in there. Then we can say npm1. And then what that will do is it will start a development server on our local machine. And so we can see whether the app is there and running okay. So if we just then click on that local host. So I opened it in the wrong way. Context. There we go. So you see, this is the app running on our local machine in its just templated form before we've changed anything. Okay, so now we're going to start changing stuff. Let's run forward. Okay, so here's where we are so far. We have this templated app we're going to, which comprises all of these things for us. We're going to get a model out of Custom Vision that we're going to download, and we are going to mash those things together. We're also going to use some CI/CD with GitHub Actions, but let's get on with it. So first thing we're going to do is retitle the app. So this is the code as it looks in our Visual Studio. Oh, no, so we want to change, rename the Hello World file, which is the basic file that we have in, it comes in our template, and we want to rechange that to detect image.view. So this is what we have currently, and then this is what we do, change it to detect image.view, and then we're going to change the words within it. So let me just flick over to my Visual Studio Code and we will actually do that. I'll stop that for now. And go in there. You will pop up. SRC. Hello World. So I'm just going to right click on that. And I am going to rename that detect.view. So this file that was called Hello World is now called detectimage.view. And then I'm going to go to this other one called app.view, where most of our stuff is done. And I'm going to change all references to Hello World to detect image. that. We'll also take out that view logo because that's not helping us. And change this to outside. There. Good. Then all of that done there in good. Step 2, place image in links. So I've already deleted that image. This is what we have now in detected image.view. This is the template section, which is at the top. So wait, create images folder and replace links with image and button. So actually we want to create the images folder. So what that is under SRC, under assets, we need a folder to create a folder called images. Do that. Yeah. Let's. Yeah. Images. And then I'm actually just going to oh, it would really help if I let's see. I'm going to take that folder that I have called stuff. I have in there an inference set which has the images in. So I am just going to see here we are not being very fair to the app because in all of these images, well, in a lot of these images, the jitsus are disguised as Ewoks. So I've trained it without that, hopefully, but when they see it, and it has to do its work, it will be doing that on a harder set. Okay, so it has those in there now. Tools. Okay, what's next? Okie dokie. So we've created the image folder and we've added images into there. Let's just also get rid of all of those annoying links that are referencing the old view templates and just replace them with our actual. See there where we've got the path there for the images and we are telling it what to do with that. Okay. Go to Visual Studio and just and do is this bit the top. No, not that bit. Hang on, they can't be in this bit at the top. So we're in the detect image.view. We're getting rid of all of these stupid links and just replacing them with the correct references there. So that's that. Cool. Then next, We're just going to add a data method under the closing parenthesis of the props object and add a comma at the close of the object in detectImage.p to create placeholders for the data. So we are going to add more stuff in for the data later when we've actually got the models in there to reference it. But first, we're just going to create a little placeholder for that. So this is what it looks like before. Well, actually, we already replaced that hello world with detect image. And then this is what it's going to look like after. In fact, maybe I will just go through like this rather than doing it in each of the things, because it's going to slow us down if I do it in each of the things. So let's just go through like this and I'll explain it all, and then you can see side-by-side code at the end. Okay, so we do that. And so that's what's the, so then we're going to add a computed object to the property to return the index of an image and disable the button in the template if the index is reached. And then under that object, we're going to create a computed property to return the index of the image and to disable the button in the template if the index is reached. So it'll just stop at the end. Well, you saw that before with the app. Then we create the methods object under the computed properties object to capture user interaction. So that's what it looks like before. And this is what it looks like afterwards. Well, really like this is what we've just added there. I've made that smaller so you can kind of see. Then we're just going to get rid of all of those styles that are in the detectImage.view at the bottom and just add a little bit fancy, a little bit neater. And then this is the bit that I often forget, or I forget to do the install of it. So in your package.json, you need to add the custom vision package, and you need to add the raw loader package and something to enable it to read text files and a webpack CLI. So all of those things go in these two sections, the dependencies and the dev dependencies section. And they just look like this. So we just add this custom vision one in the dependencies one, and the raw loader and the webpack in here. And then we're going to integrate the packages we just installed by adding this line right under the opening script. So this is the opening script. And then I'm going to just add that in. So this import this as this will make that work, and import labels from raw loader models labels. Oh, now this isn't going to make any sense because we haven't copied over the model yet. So let's get back to our custom vision thing and see it has finished doing its training, which is cool. So we're just going to click export, TensorFlow, and I'm going to say tensorflow.js, export. It'll get that ready, and then click download. And we will have this file, which has all the things that we need. So we're just going to extract all of those. Yep. Right. And I'm going to extract them. I'm going to create a little folder in here. Models. I'm going to extract all of those things into there. I never used to remember whether it would be into the SRC folder or into the public folder that I needed to do this, because most of the work that we do around this app is either in the SRC folder or it's in the public folder, just the same as we either do most of our coding either in the detect image.app or the .view. However, the way to remember it is models like to do all of their stuff in public. So therefore we put models in public. And I've never forgotten it since then. It's super easy to remember. Okay, so that is in there now, so it will know what we are talking about when we reference labels. Oh, let me just show you that. So if we go public models, see there's a file called labels.txt and it has Ewok or pup in there as the two labels that we did in our custom vision. So that's what that is referring to. Okay. Video that anyone that cares. Okay, so then from here, yeah, here's where we were. That's good. All done. Now we need to, so we need to create a new file just called webpack.config.js and just like dump this into it. And go back to do more with the data elements now that we have got some images that it can refer to. So we're going to change that and add in this. So there's reference to the labels, reference to the predictions, images, num images, and all of that. Good. And now it is ready to consume the model, the list of labels, and to make an array of predictions. So we want to add a mounted lifecycle hook after the closing comma at the edge of the computed object. So we have this. We're in the detect image.view file, and then we are going to add all of that. So you can see this bit loading up a new model. Here's the model. Wait for this, and then pass those labels and make a prediction. Easy as that. So when the app's mounted, the asynchronous method's going to fire, incrementing the image array and loading the model, passing the labels, running the prediction method, and adding an asynchronous prediction method into the methods object. So changing this to this in order for that to be done. And finally, we're going to show these predictions in the UI. So add a div above the closing div in the detect image.view. So here, and we can change it to that. So see here, this has just got the prediction stuff in there, which is definitely what I forgot before, which was why it wasn't working properly. Cool. And we need this file in order to run it on Windows, apparently. So we just create that in the public and just copy paste that in. Oh, here's the clever part. So in order to do that, I really needed to have copied all the things. Oh, do you know what? I don't, do I? Because I have a video there as well, don't I? So this is the video, but this is what we would be doing if I had done all the copy paste instead of showing you. So what we do here, we go to Azure, this little extension on the side here, and it brings up stuff like this. These are all the extensions that I have installed, which I showed you before. You need a GitHub ID, you need Azure Portal ID, and is that it? Might well be it. So once we're here, static web apps. So we're going to add a static web app. This is an extension as well, so you need a static web apps extension. And we're signing into Azure, and then we are going to add a static web app. So if we just click on the little plus button there, then we are going to commit all the changes that we made. And then you see the little wizard at the top there. So it says commit made from VS Code, and you just hit enter, and then it will do that. Then when it has done that, it's going to say create static web app 1 of 6, and you can just call it the same name as the app. So, you know, ebook up in this case, and hit enter. Hit enter for the repo. Choose your closest region, vue.js. You can just hit enter for dist, and then what it is doing, if you look at the bottom, is it's creating a GitHub repo of all of the code that we have written here, and then it is going to push that up to GitHub without you ever having to go into GitHub yourself. So it's it's pretty cool. It's also going to create all the resources and everything that you need in Azure Portal. So it's creating the web app, it's creating the I think we already created the resource space when we were in the custom vision thing. But yeah, everything that you need, it is creating up in Azure Portal, and it's creating in GitHub, and it's pushing all of the stuff there. So in this video, I have indeed compressed the time that it takes for this to occur, I think. So it should go a little bit quicker. Oh, maybe that is it, actually. Okay, let's go next then. Okay, so this is showing you in sort of bigger what happens. So if you look at the side of your Visual Studio Code, if you look in your actions, you see it creating all of these things in order to set up the job and to build the static website and to do all of the things. So in the past, you might have needed something like Heroku or Netlify in order to do this stuff. No need for any of that now. You can do it all directly within Visual Studio Code, just using GitHub, GitHub Actions, and Azure. But then Visual Studio Code and its extensions is doing it all for you. So then this is what it looks like. These are actually screenshots from my phone. So if you had typed this in on a browser in your phone, you'd see that working as well. The thing that you can see clearly here and has definitely impacted the training is the sizes of the images should all be the same. So you shouldn't be putting images that some of them are landscapes, some of them are portraits, some of them are large, small, medium, extra large. They should all be exactly the same size, and then you will get much better training out of your custom vision, and you'll get a much better result out of your PWA. So this is the resources. So take a picture or a screenshot of the screen now if you're still online. If you're watching on the recording later, then you'll be able to just pause on this screen and get those out. But I will show you in the GitHub. Let's see. So in GitHub, if you're in my GitHub, which is codes-us, you can find loads of repos where you can see the code, and you can double check your code against that code. So there's the ewok or Lucy, which is, I mean, it's all really identical. So if we look in src app.view, this is what the whole app.view should look like. And and then, which is pretty small, pretty short file. And then where's the other one? Payments and components to text-image.py. This one is a bit longer. If we look at the work that we've done there, so you can leave this hello there, that's fine. Here's the bit where we're referring to the assets folder with the images in and saying scroll through each of those one at a time. Here's a button. I've put nice comments in the code. So if you look at it on the repo, you will see the comments in the code and you'll remember what each of these bits are that we've put in there. Integrate the custom vision packages. See here, I've got up to 25 images there. Mounted and async stuff. And then there's just the stylings at the bottom. My comment being bling bling baby, because you know what else. So it's pretty easy for you to start with your basic app like this and then just change all the things. And you can look here at the code to compare the code and see if you've done anything wrong. But just in case, you need the step-by-step to go a little bit slower. Go back to here. Side-by-side code changes. So this is speakerdeck.com, where a lot of speakers will upload their decks. This deck, it has the code side by side. So it says, here's the template, here's the changes you make to the template. Here's what you do, type this, and then you should see this. Here's what it looks like, here's what we will change it to. Again, here's what it looks like, here's what you'll change it to. So each time the original is on this side, and the change is on this side. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. This. So this is the old, this is the new. And each time it will show you each of them. I've started to like grey it out a little bit there. So you can see this is what it looked like before. This is what it'll look like after you make the changes. So you can literally go through looking at it and making the changes step by step using this. And you can download this, I think, as well. That'd be better if I did it as I have in the presentation, where the changes are in colour and the other ones are not. I will redo that, but it's, you know, it should be clear enough for you to be able to do it from that. Okie doke. There's only you left, David. Any questions?
No, it's good. I haven't used the Azure plugin for VS Code before, so I was doing everything through the console, which is, you know, it's easy enough there, and now it's even nicely integrated into where you're writing the code, so you never need to leave, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I like to check. So,
well, yeah.
So normally when I'm doing this, not normally, yeah, not normally. I've done this so many times that I change between what I show and what I don't show. But that is a good point. Normally, not normally. Sometimes. Let's find another window. Where's the window? So yeah, when you're in here, you can see actions. And the actions, you can see those workflow runs. This is not running as smoothly as it did, but it still totally works because this one, Ewok or Ploozy, is this one. So therefore it's totally working, regardless of the fact that these two initial ones didn't run. But if you look at other repos that were gone a little bit earlier, so that one, Ewok or Shleka, and you look at the GitHub actions, you can see those are all nice and green. And this is CI/CD, and you can see.
Yeah, because once you run it as well, you should be able to see the YAML file add in the .github/workflows folder in your thing, so at least you know something's happened.
Yeah.
And then, I've used static web apps, and it's really nice. Like, I love the integration.
Yeah, that you can see all of that. That's real cool. And then sure. I would I would sometimes show them as well that it has created the things, or that it's creating them, we'd be looking at
Deployed
the
resources,
so that you can see that the resources are in there and you can see what it's created. I think I prefer to have in my mind, a clear, this is what it's done, these are all the things it's created, these are all the things it's added.
I mean, here static web apps are free, but if you're setting up something else, you really want to know what it's done and where it's done it.
Well, yeah, exactly. You would want to, and with the other one, with the object detection one that I've done, I really spent like a lot of time looking for all of where everything was in the Azure portal, because the stuff that I did in order to set it up was all done in the command line, so CLI. And I really wanted to clarify in my mind, what do these commands equate to in Azure portal? What do they look like? What are the things? And so I do think that's very useful. Now, I normally say to all of the students, don't leave stuff in here like this. Delete them all. Delete all of your resources after you've used them, because they potentially are burning up stuff. If you're doing them on free tiers, then you know they are not. So it might not be, it might be fine. But if you're not sure about what you're doing, just delete everything and then create it again another day. And the more you build stuff, the more it becomes clear in your mind what you're doing, what you're being billed for, what's free, how it's set up. But for me, we saw there when we came in, I have 176.45 credit remaining. I have $200 per month, just like a student ambassador, but I work for Microsoft. $200 a month, and I have 176.45 remaining, and I have this app 1, 2, 3, 4 times in there, running all the time. I have these two object detection things running, and actually,
the static web apps run on the free tier, right? Unless you add a certain what's it called? Edge optimization, or enterprise grade edge.
Yes, it depends what you do. For me, I have some stuff running on standard tier, not on free, because I have so many of them, and I can't be dealing with it running out of all the things that it has. So some of them are definitely standard tier and some of them are free tier, but even so, it's costing me like $30 a month with everything running. So it's not much. I mean, that's not much to, and if it was one app, you wouldn't need that at all. It would be nothing. Essentially, because I am lazy, that I have left everything running.
Because you say, do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly.
Delete everything. However, I will leave mine running.
Yes, exactly right. Well, I'm just delighted by it. I can't get enough of the ewok and Shih Tzu.
I think it's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. And you can do anything. You can do your own version. It doesn't have to be ewok or Shih Tzu. You know, it could be apple or banana, or it could be, you know, all sorts of things. So yeah, it's fun to think of a thing that you want to compare. One of the things that people have compared is Dalmatians and chocolate chip ice cream, because if you have a close up of their fur,
And one of those little fluffy dogs that look like fried chicken. You
yeah,
seen that one? Yeah,
yeah.
that's one of my favorites. Because honestly, sometimes I don't know.
Well, I think it was something or pretzels. Was it sausage dogs or pretzels? And it
Okay,
just
that
kind of
one
like
I haven't
curled
seen.
round, looking like a pretzel, but they were a sausage dog. Yeah, so you can have a
Okay,
lot
that
of
one I
fun.
haven't seen.
Cool. Okay. Well, I will let you go. Stop the recording. I'll put it on YouTube for
Oh,
all
yeah,
of
it's
my students.
recording.